All right, thanks for coming back to another episode. Appreciate you listening. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Want to thank Adam Chubbuck with Douglas Realty in Pasadena, Maryland. Team Alpha Charlie, TACMD.com. That's TACMD.com. TACMD.com. If you were looking to buy, I know interest rates are a little bit high right now, but there is more inventory on the market than there usually is. So this may be time for sellers to kind of get in and not have to worry about bidding wars or maybe even be able to negotiate a little bit. But go check in with Adam at Douglas Realty in Pasadena, Team Alpha Charlie, TACMD.com, that's TACMD.com, and get a consultation with Adam so that you know exactly what you need to do for this real estate market. All right, so Mike's back from a lovely, lovely trip down to North Carolina and back. We've been debating as far as how many topics are we going to squeeze into one episode, but I think we're going to try and stick to one. This affects me mostly, but I'm trying to think of the best way to put this, because I don't want to say the agency I work for. So everyone knows, like, I'm a government employee. Shocker, right? None of this is done on government time. Don't worry, assholes. For all you dicks listening. No, all this stuff's recorded outside of work hours. All right, so recently with a court opinion, and I don't know all the exact details, but basically the Trump administration was trying to disband federal unions, with the exception of firefighters, police officers, first responders. So those are not going to be touched. But essentially, they were trying to get rid of AFGE, which is the Association of Federal Government Employees or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so this past week, and we're late into August, I believe the VA canceled their union contract. FEMA, TSA, a couple others canceled their union contracts. I think there was about 6 or 7 union contracts that essentially were dissolved. Now, does that mean the union is dissolved? No, but it means the employees are not represented by the union anymore. Therefore, there are no union employees at these places. And then I guess their main talking point was that federal employees on federal time were working on union items, which under federal law was allowed.
Yeah, that's how. So, like, our union president is, like, essentially, that's their job. So the president and then the 2 vice presidents of the union, that's what they do. Like, they don't have another job in addition to their...
But aren't they employed by the union?
No, they get their money from
a whatever?
From at the same place everyone else does.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So they're, that is their sole responsibility. So, that's what they do. So it but the thing with our, like, they work hand. Sometimes people say the relationship might be too close, but there's a mutual benefit to both the employer and the union to have it set up that way, and it works.
Yeah.
So
I guess the question is, though, and this is where I'm kind of hung up. So if you haven't figured out, this is going to be a episode on the whole union situation in this country. Should the organization that is employing the employees employ what's essentially a union rep that isn't doing any company work? Mm-hmm. And so one could argue, look, these unions are raking in dues upon dues upon dues. They obviously have full-time employees working for them, right? Like, I understand having shop stewards, which they're employees of the company, but they still do a job within the company for the company. I would almost say that it was like they were stretching it too far by having an employee from the company solely do union work, because it's not company work, right? Yeah. And I could see where someone would have that argument, and I could see we're getting rid of that would be okay. But not dissolving the whole union.
Yeah.
Or dissolving a union contract for that.
Well, it's they're just looking for ways to get rid of unions because they don't like unions. And unions are what built the middle class. And you can't tell me, and I'm sure there's going to be some, fired up boomer out there screaming about how unions are sucking the money away. And I think a lot of that is just, I almost want to say envy that they're not represented by a union, or they don't have a collective bargaining agreement, or they don't have some of these things. And I think that's where a lot of the ire against the federal workforce comes from in the first place. And they complain about, in the private sector. And okay, dude, well, you made a choice, right? And a lot of people in the private sector make more than those working in government. You can go work for a contractor. Good friend of mine, he's in the, the intelligence, IT, super secret spy stuff field, and he's a contractor. He makes a lot more money than the feds he works with than they do. However, he doesn't get the leave they get. He doesn't have the pension they have. He doesn't have, and the federal pension isn't what it was. Because some people think, these fat cat pensions, the federal pension's not, in terms of when you compare it to like state, local, municipal, the federal pension isn't the best one there is. But excuse me. But he makes a lot more money than his people he's doing the same job.
He's probably making, and I don't know the exact situation, but he's probably making close to about, at least in this area, about $100,000 more.
Yeah.
But like you said, though, so the pension, like you said, it isn't what it used to be. And it wasn't look, this was not some huge thing to begin with. So back in the day for federal employees, you got 2% per year. So if you retire with 30 years, you got 60% of your salary. That was your pension. You did not get Social Security, though. Mm-hmm. That was a system called CSRS. Mm-hmm. All right. They phased that out. I want to say it was around the 80s.
Yeah.
And then government employees could choose either to stay in CSRS or they could go into this new one called FERS, which is the Federal Employee Retirement System. The Federal Employee Retirement System, it's 1% per year, so it got cut in half. Mm-hmm. So you work for 30 years, you get 30% of your salary as a pension. But you do get to collect Social Security.
Right, and they do match your TSP, right?
So the TSP, which is essentially like a 401k for federal employees, you get 1% put in 1% of your salary is put into your thrift savings plan, which is essentially the retirement plan. It's not a match; it's a given. So you get 1%, and then as you start, you can put up to 5% and get a 5% match. Mm-hmm. Now you don't get 6%. It's so that when you put in 5%,
they make up the other 4.
No, so they're still putting in 5. So you get 1% for free, but it's not like, so if I then put in 1%, they're now putting in 2. Mm-hmm. If I put in 2, they're putting in 3. If I put in 3, they're putting in 4. If I put in 4, they put in 4.5. Mm-hmm. If I put in 5, they go 5.
Right.
So that 1%, so if you put in 5%, you're now not getting the free portion of it. But at the same time, you're doubling your money in your TSP, your retirement plan right away, right? But it's essentially a way to, and private sector does this too. So they do matching in your company retirement plan.
Yeah.
So this is not, it was a way to make the federal retirement system more like the private sector. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, with the way the stock market goes, I would almost say some federal employees would probably be better off if they got no pension.
And put all of it in.
Well, and instead of a 5%, up to a 5% match, you got up to a 10% match in your retirement plan. One that's going to induce more people to save. So like someone's going to instead of putting 5% of their salary, they're going to put in 10 and to get the 10% match. That's going to induce more saving. And so they get Social Security, no pension, and then they would get whatever's in their thrift savings plan, which it ends up, you turn it into an annuity basically. Mm-hmm. But that's neither here nor there. I actually think the federal government probably makes out a little bit better doing it this way with the 1% and the 5% match because it's less money up front, but it costs more down the road.
Yeah.
But it's not a ton, though.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, defined benefit pension systems are going away.
Yeah.
And if once you get outside of like some government, public safety, military, it's kind of, they really aren't there. Everyone's going to, which I see the benefits of. However, if you hit 65 years old in 2009, you were fucked.
Right.
Because your shit just went to nothing. And that's what I don't like about it, is that everything's so tied to the stock market, and that's all made up money anyway. None of that shit actually exists. So it's just the whim. You're gonna put your future to the whims of Bear Stearns and mortgage backed securities and all this nonsense they were doing, and whatever the next nonsense scheme they make up is. That's now, granted, the pension funds are all in that too. So,
well, that's the thing. The biggest investment hedge funds, the institutional investors, the biggest ones are pension funds.
Yeah.
The Canadian Pension Fund, CalPERS, which is the California State Pension Fund, the New York State Pension Fund. Those are some of the biggest institutional investors out there.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, oh, the stock market's going to go away. It's going to implode. The richest people on this planet are never going to let that happen.
Yeah.
They are going to shore that up with all the governments out there that have control over money, whether it's based on gold or not. I don't want to hear that shit. They have control over the money supply.
Yeah.
They're not going to let that stock market die because all of their wealth is tied into it.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. So if it's safe for them, guess who else it's safe for? It's that whole thing with climate change. Do I think climate change is happening? Yes, I do. However, we can argue about the sources of it and all this other stuff till the cows come home. Until President Obama and all the super wealthy elite people start selling property on Martha's Vineyard in the Hamptons
for nothing.
Right. Once they we were going to take a loss for tax purposes. No, fuck that. You're dumping property.
Yeah.
When that shit starts happening,
right,
then I'll know the shit hit the fan.
When insurance companies stop insuring it.
Yeah. And not for dick reasons like they did in California with a couple millionaires' homes that they wouldn't insure.
Yeah.
Where they drop coverage and all of a sudden here's a fire.
Yeah.
Oh, that was convenient. Conspiracy theory, as you will.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing with the union, and we've said this before, the unions, when they were created, they had a very specific purpose. Organize the workers to fight back against the corporate greed or the corporate screwing of American workers, because American workers are essentially what made these corporations their money.
Yeah.
I get it. It's a symbiotic relationship. Anyone who says one is better than the other, it's not.
What I don't get is, of all the people in the United States, what's our population now? It's over 300 million.
It's like 330.
Okay. So 330 million people. Of all those people, they take, a significant percentage of them act like they're the corporation.
Right.
Like, yeah, screw those guys. Like, you're really saying, no, screw you. Like, screw myself. Like, I'm taking the side of Citibank, and I'm going to take the side of General Motors. Like, what? Turn Fox News off, sir, or whatever sort of. And people who say we lean too right, I'm going after. So right. Turn that bullshit off. You are not them. You might think you are, but you're not. So. The money that you think you have, if for some of these guys that think they're like, it doesn't even. They could piss your net worth away without even thinking about it. They wouldn't even make a blip on the radar for that.
They bought a car with your net worth last week.
Yeah,
they probably bought a McLaren.
Yeah,
for $1 million, and that is your net worth.
Yeah.
They pissed it away in an hour.
Yeah, and then their shithead son went and wrecked it, and they're like, whatever,
right?
Get another one.
And the problem is that people think if the company bumps an auto worker's salary from $17 an hour to $25 an hour. That's what pushed their car price up $5,000.
Right.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
You want to know what pushed your car price up $5,000? The fact that manufacturers realized they could up the price $5,000 and you'd still fucking pay it.
Yeah. And the fact that you're like, oh, I want this thing so bad that I'll finance it for 8 years, for 9 years. A 9-year car loan on a car that's going to last you 10 years. You're paying $1,000 a month for it. And if the banks will finance it and you'll pay it, they'll do it.
You're being generous with the fact that a car right now, built in 2025, is going to last 10 years.
Yeah.
You're being overly generous.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
If it's a GM big truck, your engine probably blew up in the time we took to record this episode. Yeah. Your transmission probably blew up. If it's a V8 engine.
Yeah.
Your Toyota V8 or your twin turbo Toyota V6 engine also probably blew up.
Yeah.
Don't remember, are there reliable cars? Absolutely. Buy almost any Toyota 4-cylinder engine. You'll be happy for 20 years. But you're going to pay more for it today because Toyota knows that they're one of the only reliable brands out there. The other reliable brands, like a Mazda, in the last 5 to 10 years, you go talk to a mechanic, they say they rarely ever see a Mazda come in. Was that always the case? No, but it is in the last 5 years.
Yeah. Even Honda's been having some issues.
Honda, that Dream engine that they put out a few years ago had major issues. I mean, Honda in the early 2000s, their transmissions in the V6s were god awful. Like I go to a mechanic that they mostly dealt with Hondas and Acuras. And I talked to him when I had a Honda and Acura, and I was doing. It's like, oh yeah, those transmissions. I think it was the 03 TL that I had, and he was like, yeah, these transmissions are known to be shit. And he goes, it wasn't just in this; it was in the Honda Odyssey. It was in, I guess, the CRV back when it had a V6. He goes, Honda had a big issue.
I think it was the Pilot.
And they had a huge issue. I mean, was it breaking down every single one? No. I mean, was it somewhat dependent on maintenance? Sure.
Yeah. Was it Nissan CVT bad?
Right. But even the weird part is now, if you listen to like Scotty Kilmer, this guy is one of the biggest car YouTubers out there. And if you listen to him, he's even saying now that the Jatco CVT transmissions that go in some of these Nissans really aren't that bad anymore. But
Honda went all in on CVTs too. My mother-in-law just got a CRV with a CVT, and she leases her cars. So I'm like, okay, who cares? My sister-in-law leased a Kia, and a Kia Soul. Remember the hamster car? I said, I said, you lease this, right? She said, yep. I said, good. I wouldn't buy one.
Well, if you listen to the Royalty Auto guys, they're also YouTubers, whatever they. I don't know whether they're all over the place. They won't touch, and they tell nobody to buy a Kia or a Hyundai.
Yeah.
Now, but then you get the opposite end. Like our buddy Ty had an old ass Hyundai Elantra.
It ran forever,
and it ran forever. Yeah. I think it finally gave out after 13 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he got his money worth out of that car. A lot of it has to do with maintenance. Yeah. I will say this, but some of them is just straight up bad design. But going back to the point, if you bought a Ford Explorer, now Ford, for anyone who doesn't know, Ford right now has the highest amount of recalls than like the next 3 car companies combined. They've recalled so many. Now some people say, well, at least they're open about it and they're recalling it, whereas like GM, they're not recalling their 6.2 liter engine, and now there's a class action lawsuit, right? So are they doing the right thing versus hiding the problem? Or there's different ways to go about it. But because the cost of the recalls have cost Ford so much money, that's what's raising your car price right now. It's not the union line worker making $25 an hour. In fact, Jim Farley, and I will give Jim Farley, I think he's run Ford horribly. But the one thing, or the few things that he's done right, one, recalls are fast and furious, and at least they're trying to fix it and do right by the customer. They're kind of taking a page out of Toyota's book in that regard. The problem is they can't make the cars good in the first place. So they do have to do more recalls on a Toyota.
And that probably has to do more with cutting corners on the like go back to the Pinto.
Yeah.
Like a a very inexpensive self-sealing fuel tank would have fixed that problem.
Yeah.
However, some bean counter who's thinking more about profits than they are about building a good product. I think I've said this before. Like the way you used to make money is if you built cars was to make great, good cars that people wanted to buy, and then you build more of them, and then you need to employ more people to build more of them, and then your profit came from selling those cars. Well, now their profit comes from finance.
Right.
And they don't hire the greatest minds from engineering departments. They hire their greatest minds for finance. And again, it's all fake, made up bullshit. None of it actually exists. So who cares if the car's a piece of shit? Did you finance it through Ford Motor Credit? Does it give them money to invest on the back? Does it pay off their shareholders? Does it pay off dividends? Does it do? So the point is no longer making good cars or good washing machines, which I just had to replace again, or good refrigerators, which I just had to replace again. So like that's not the point. The point is to make, but somehow we're going to blame the lazy union guy. But even though that guy that's grumbling like that is in a very similar station in life than the CEOs that are making money that they're supporting. It just doesn't doesn't make any sense, and it's all because these people are being propagandized.
Well, let's talk about another aspect, and we'll come back to the union part of it later and the organization side of it and where the unions went wrong, because I'm not saying unions are infallible and all this. Well, there were over 200 instances when a CEO I'm gonna try and put it this way. So the stock price went down and had issues during the CEO's reign of a company. Mm-hmm. And rather than just saying, you're fired, get out, they said, well, we're going to remove you. And oh, by the way, we're going to give you $5 million as you leave. Or we're going to, some of these, they're called golden parachutes. Yeah. Some of these golden parachutes are $20 to $30 million. Now that's rare, but they happen. Like I think that's probably 12 of the 200 were in like the $20 to $30 million range. The average was like 12 million, but still 12 million is fuck you money for everybody, for every line worker. That's fuck you money.
Yeah.
I'm not working tomorrow money.
Yeah.
I can retire at 25, 30 years old with 12 million bucks.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. So you're telling
you just put that shit in a savings account, your kids aren't working either.
Right.
A savings account.
But you're telling me I couldn't have run the company into the ground like they did?
Yeah.
And you could have given me the 12 million.
Yeah.
Actually, you could have given me probably 500,000. Yeah. And my annual salary would have been a hell of a lot less.
Yeah.
My golden parachute would have been a hell of a lot less, and I would have had the same result.
Yeah.
And they do this shit over and over and over again. So here's the thing. If I'm a big company like Boeing, which, by the way, did it twice, they were 2 of those 200 alone.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that the cost of a fighter jet from Boeing hasn't gone up because they paid out 2 $20 million golden parachutes on top of a $30 million annual salary for one guy.
Yeah.
You can't. That's literally, if you add up 10 years of that salary plus the golden parachute, that's 1 or 5 fighter jets worth of piss away money. But when the Boeing workers in Washington and that union plant in Washington go on strike, one of the longest running Boeing plants goes on strike, you're pissed off as a line worker. You cheer when Boeing opens up a plant in South Carolina where it's a right to work state and there's no unions. Mm-hmm. You're in favor of that shit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the plane, you're up on a 737, which, oh, by the way, is a Boeing, and the door blows off while you're in midair.
Yeah.
But you're okay with that.
Yeah.
And you want to know why? Because you're paying the fucking line workers $17 an hour instead of paying them $30.
Yeah. And the $17 an hour worker here, you can make that at freaking McDonald's.
I've said this, but I can go to Dunkin' Donuts right now, go to the drive-thru, and there is a yard sign in there that says $17 an hour starting pay to go sling donuts.
Yeah.
and make some coffee.
Yeah.
I could be jacked up on caffeine all day because I bet you get coffee free too. You need some coffee? You want some cream? I got it for you, buddy. I'm right here. Woo! And you just hand it off to them, right? That's your whole day. You were jacked up on sugar and caffeine.
Yeah.
For 17, and they pay you to do it for $17 an hour. And $17 an hour, if you show up to work for 3 months on time, guess what? Your pay goes to 20.
Yeah. It's making $40,000 a year.
$40,000 a year for slinging coffee.
Yeah.
At Dunkin' Donuts. You know how fat I would be if I worked at Dunkin' Donuts? I honestly, yes, can I get a 20-piece donut hole?
Yeah.
Munchkin? Sure. And as I'm filling it, it's like 5 for you, 1 for me. 5. Here's your, and I'd give them 20 donut holes and I will have eaten 5.
Yeah.
That's why I can't work at a Dunkin' Donuts. I don't have that control. God, I love donuts.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sugar-coated lies.
I'd be making $20 an hour and probably another $3 an hour in donuts.
Yeah.
Right?
Give yourself a little raise. You're not tapping it on the till. You're doing it, off the spillage.
I'm doing the drip method.
That one fell on the ground.
Little drip. It's like what I do with my kids. I'm like, 4 chicken nuggets for you, 1 for me.
You have to test it to make sure it's okay for the customer.
I can't have my kid dying. I can't. Not on chicken nuggets. I got to make sure they're safe. It's like the president. Do you think he takes the first bite of anything? No.
Right.
He's got someone to taste it for him. I'm my kid's food tester.
Right. It's your cross to bear.
And in fact, you know what? If I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, it'd be really for the people to make sure that the donuts were safe.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to test this, chocolate glazed donut hole before you eat them to make sure that, it's really saving the company money, because if I die, well, at least I stop 20 other people from dying.
And lawsuits.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd be doing that. I'd be Dunkin' Donuts' best employee.
Right.
At that point. Cost them $2 an hour in unrealized benefits.
Fringe benefits.
Right.
And here's the fact that an aircraft manufacturer is going to move their plant somewhere so that they can pay wages like that. But you see, other, Mercedes-Benz. There's certain models. So first of all, I think I'm kind of with Car Wizard. Pretty much anything like BMWs are junk. Audi, Volkswagen, it's junk. Mercedes-Benz, the ones that are made in Germany, pretty good. S-Class, E-Class. But then when you look at the ones that are made in, I think,
Alabama,
like they're, the ML and all that, it's...
I'm going to stop you there, though. The ML and the GL, although they're not called that anymore, how many issues have you heard about from them?
So the original MLs you still see some old ones on the road, but a lot of them were junk. I'm not sure if they changed it up, but the thing is, are they paying? But the greater point is that the S-Class, right, the flagship, made in Stuttgart or whatever,
right,
by the socialist German union guy. Okay, so, but S-Class, nice car. The ones that have the reputation, made by the guy in Alabama making $17 an hour. Now, then they're going, let's take it to Mexico. Volkswagen and other, they used to make the Jetta in Wolfsburg. Then they switched operations to Mexico, and it's complete junk. So
the intro. Okay, so the big GLEs, which were the GLs, the original GL, those only had one real problem, and this is going back to when they first brought it out. The wiring in the power seat was faulty and could catch on fire, so you might roast alive as the driver. Very few and far between. They fixed the problem. That thing has been, I will say, it has been a very solid performer for probably close to 15 years now. You're right. The ML, which I think now is the GLC.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
it was like Mercedes' first SUV that wasn't a G-Wagon.
Yeah, but the naming, why is everything now a GL something? I get it.
It's as bad as Infiniti with a stupid Q.
Everyone fucked up their naming culture over. I don't even know who started this shit, but for the love of God,
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah.
So I know what the hell it is. I can't with the GLA. I get it. GLA is smaller than a GLB. GLB is smaller than a GLC. GLC is smaller than a GLE. Which, by the way, what the hell happened to GLD? You just decided to skip over the D. I mean, I know what God, it could say for God loves dick. I get it. You don't want to, but I mean, GLC is God loves cock. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's on the back of your car. You can't put I love Jesus underneath a GLC.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, or maybe you could. Maybe it is. I don't know.
There's no BBC.
Yeah.
Or BBW.
We just go back to names for fuck's sake.
Well, Cadillac, like, used to, Eldorado, DeVille, all these, and now it's CTS and a DT, all this stupid crap. And some of them, like, BMW was easy because you had the different series 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. And then the numbers were, the engine size, Mercedes-Benz, the cars, the different class of vehicle. But then when they went to all this stupid nonsense, but again, here we are way off track. But
we'll get back. We're going to bring it back, but this is important.
But I can't tell them apart. I like names. So
BMW fucked up. And not in like the car fashion. The name. So it was the 3, the 5, and the 7. 4-door sedans, right? 3 was smaller than 5, 5 was smaller than 7. Everyone understood that.
Yeah. And then you had the 8, which was cool.
The 8 was like the 7 coupe.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, then they came out with the evens. So it was the 2, the 4, the 6, and then the 8. But the 8 was always around. But then they added the 2, 4, and the 6, which I know they sold in Europe forever. The 2 was like a 2-door version of the 3. The 4 was a 2-door version of the 5. And the 6 was a 2-door version of the 7. And the 8 was just the boat.
Yeah.
Right. Or I think the 8 was the long wheelbase version of the 7.
Yeah, with two
doors. Right.
Yeah.
Now, though, the 2, the 4, and the 6 are 4-door sedans.
Yeah.
But they're kind of got the fastback on them a little bit. So now they're all 4-door sedans.
Yeah.
And now you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8's really not sold. So you have 6 different 4-door sedan models. Like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
You lost me. So if I ever go into a BMW shop, which I won't.
Yeah.
I can't afford brakes on a BMW. A brake job on a BMW, I think is like $1,500 per axle. Per axle, just for pads.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
They're brakes, for fuck's sake. Metal squeezes metal. Can we or ceramic squeezes metal to stop a car? Yeah. Why is that $1,500 just for the pads? I can't. But that's another day. You took the differentiation away. I still so. What's the difference between a 4 and a 5?
Yeah.
Or a 3 and a 4? I don't know anymore. It's all 4-door sedans.
Yeah.
What am I getting? Like an inch and a half more of space?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not worth having a different model. You just confused everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, BMW. You were shitty enough to begin with.
Yeah.
And the thing, and with Cadillac, one of the name they didn't change, the Escalade.
Yeah.
And guess what their best seller is?
Escalade.
The Escalade.
Yeah.
Go back to fucking names. Just help us help you.
Yeah, bring back the Cimarron.
Yeah, sure. Please don't. But a different name. The Cimarron. It looked like cinnamon. I can't have a Cadillac name.
They should have spelled it with an S.
Cinnamon. Yeah. I didn't even know Cadillac came out with their own Acadia version. Didn't know. XT6 apparently.
XT. They're all dumb.
Yeah. So names, please. Can we have some names? Okay. And by the way, if you're one of those line workers in there, just slap a name on it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
You have my permission to not put the XT6 on there. Put like Flashdance on there. I don't know. Put something amazing.
They should name them
Eldorado.
For the type of people that buy them. Right? So
octogenarian.
Right. Or for like the Cadillac Boomer, they could have the BMW douchebag.
Yes. The 3 Series will be BMW douche bro.
Right. The Ford F2 small penis.
That we should make that an episode. Yeah. What car names should be on the back of your car?
Maybe we're previewing for something here.
Tesla elitist.
Yeah.
With the gull wing door. Please, for the love of... Just take the gull-wing doors off. Put doors on.
Yeah.
I don't need to look like the Batwing when my doors won't fit in the Target parking garage.
I look at everything as... and as I get older, it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, that's going to break. How much is that going to cost to fix? That's how I look at it. And, you know, like my washing machine that broke. I had to go buy a new washing machine. So I go to... Now, my parents growing up, when I was growing up, had the same washing machine forever. They sold the house with the washing machine of my childhood in it. Whoever bought it probably said, oh, that's old junk, and put some stupid HE front loader washing machine in there. So they ended up have probably replaced it. So when I go to get the washing machine, I look for... We walk into a scratch and dent place because this is now the third washing machine I bought in 15 years. So the guy says, you know, hey, I have this one has Wi-Fi. I said, don't want any of it. No Wi-Fi. I have enough notifications I ignore on my phone. I need my washing machine telling me my laundry's done. Though it kind of would be convenient because then I'd know. However, I don't want any of it. I said, I want the dumbest washing machine you have. Right. So he takes me to the dumbest one he has. It's made by Hot Point.
Yeah.
Hot Point is GE's basement brand.
Yeah. It's like that in the Mana.
Yeah.
Yep.
This thing doesn't have a single screen. I think the most advanced technology it has are little LED lights at the top to tell you what thing it's. You have to select the water level yourself. Everything is analog. It's great. And I've been using the hell out of this thing. So I'm like, cool. And I have an actual GE dryer that's been running great. So I'm like, hey, this works, right? Well, again, this kind of reinforces my point before about how the way GE or Maytag or Kenmore made money was by making good appliances that people wanted to buy that lasted a long time, right?
At a living wage, too.
Yeah. So... Now the way they make money is by selling you junk that you have to replace every 10 years, so you're always coming back for more, and then making money through speculation in the stock market and other investments and financing it. So, you know, you go and to buy the appliance, and now you have to finance it because the washer-dryer combination costs $3,000. So... Yeah, so two things. Number one, scratch and dent place is my new best friend. And it's not used. They're floor models, they're open box stuff. It's you know, they come with the full warranty from the manufacturer. It's all, you know, and I don't care if there's a dent on the side of my washing machine.
Nope.
There's a scratch at the top of the new washing machine that I don't care about. It sits in my utility room in the basement. Like, I don't care about it. So
I did that with my fridge. There was a dent on the side.
Yeah.
That's facing the wall.
Yeah.
I got $1,000 off.
Yeah.
It still works the same.
Yeah.
Still new.
Exactly.
It just has a dent in the side.
Yeah.
I'm going to go one step further, though. So, I had rental properties for a while. Mm-hmm. When appliances break, I would go to the used appliance shop. Mm-hmm. So this is not scratch and dent. This is not open box. This is, and this is going to sound insensitive as fuck, but it's going to be very complimentary. Some of these immigrant dudes that only speak Spanish, what they do, they're very mechanically inclined. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to stereotype the shit out of this. I know it. I'm an asshole. I got it. But what they do is they get used appliances from somewhere. Either through removals from someone's house, or like their cousin does junk removal, mm-hmm. and when there's a washer and dryer or whatever, they take it over to him. He gets it for free. These older ones, the parts are cheap as shit. Or what they do is they have a parts machine, mm-hmm. and they can just keep pulling parts off of it until it's scrap metal.
Yeah.
Then they get paid for the scrap metal. They use the parts. They then turn around and sell that old 20-year-old washing machine or 15-year-old washing machine for $200. Mm-hmm. I can't buy anything for $200.
No.
So for me, a $200 washing machine that's going to last, if it lasts 5 years, I'm ahead of the game.
Yeah.
If it lasts 3 years, I'm ahead of the game, right? just as an example, the reason why I just got up, I went over and looked at my washing machine. Obviously, we're in a basement. Everyone knows that, right?
Yeah, the murder basement.
Yep, murder basement. No murders were happening inside the washing machine, though.
Good.
I want to know what I've been killing? Smells and dirty stains. That's what I've been killing in this basement.
Yeah, murking it.
Yeah. That thing has a plastic wood grain looking panel on it.
Yeah.
That's how old this thing is.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for. That
the dials still click as you turn them.
Perfect.
Like it only I think it's got 3 knobs. How do you want to wash this? What temperature? And so hot, cold. Oh, size of the load.
Yeah,
because that's important. I don't think it changes the damn thing. So there's 3 dials, and they all clicky, clicky, clicky. That thing came with the house. So we bought this house around 12 years. I think I'm 12 years. 12 years ago, that thing came with the house. So it's already lasted longer than if I would have bought a new machine 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? I would probably been on my 2nd machine by now.
Oh, yeah, because I'm on my 3rd. So,
but that thing looks like it came with the house when the original owners bought it in the 90s.
Pretty sure it did.
Like, they don't do wood paneling like that anymore.
In fact, they may have brought that from the house they moved into this house from.
It could have been.
Because wood paneling that's 80s.
Yeah, that is so...
It would have been like Miami Vice, like, teals and pinks.
I could sell it now as a vintage machine.
Oh, some hipster would probably pay all kinds of...
Oh,
are
my God,
there still hipsters?
I don't know what they are. But if I slap the word vintage on that, I think I'd have 10 buyers for it for $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
They put it in like their new... I'm calling them hipsters. It'd be a hipster coffee shop.
Oh, yeah.
Called the Laundromat.
Yeah.
And they would put that in there.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't even use it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I can still do laundry.
Sure.
I use that thing probably... I probably do 2 loads of laundry a day in that thing.
Yeah, you've got 2 kids, softball players. That thing's getting work.
That thing, is it not loaded properly? It doesn't care. Is it unbalanced? Doesn't care.
It'll walk itself across the room.
It does. All I hear is... I think this shit's gonna fucking explode. And it just goes about its business.
Yeah.
And my pillows and my comforters. I throw I throw shoes in that thing. I'm throwing everything in there. And then, you know what? It comes out clean. It comes out clean. And I don't see... I'm hearing... I don't see a dent. It's a tank.
Yep.
If that breaks, that is the one appliance I will call an appliance repairman to come fix that shit.
But he could actually fix it.
Yes.
Whereas the one that I just got rid of... So another thing they do is they make them so you can't fix them.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to fix it, it costs so much money, and then by the time... So the part alone... So essentially the bearings went bad in my old washing machine.
Probably used plastic, right?
Yeah. So when it went in spin cycle, like it sounded like an Airbus A350 spooling its engines up. Like it was loud. And it sits right below our living room, so I could feel it when I was sitting on the couch. And I was, what is that? And I was like, oh, it's the washing machine in spin cycle. So I go down. I say, okay, well, let me see. I fix my own stuff. Let me see. So I watch a bunch of YouTube videos for that model. First of all, it's super freaking complicated. Your washing machine probably has an electric motor in it with a belt drive. Like that's probably what's in there.
Probably.
So this. Oh no. This thing has a transmission, and the bearings are in the transmission. So as soon as you hear transmission, I see dollar signs, which is accurate because anything involving a transmission is expensive. So to fix my bad bearings, rather than just replacing the bearings, which you could probably do in that thing, I had to replace the transmission because the transmission is a sealed unit. There's no belts, nothing, a bunch of sensors. And then what was really throwing it was it would go into spin cycle empty, which does me a whole hell of a lot of good. But the second anything was in it, the bad bearings caused a vibration, which set off the safety feature for the imbalanced load, and then it would shut it down. So, okay, can I kill the safety feature? No, because it's some computer board. Like, I don't want computers in my washing machine. I don't need it.
There's no purpose for what to be in there.
No.
There isn't.
And what do electronics not like? Moisture. What does a washing machine run on? Water.
It's only a little bit.
Well, in that one, because it was high efficiency, so they're like, oh, it only uses half the water. Yeah, but it takes 2 hours to do a load of wash. So if it's twice as efficient, but also takes twice as long, it's no longer twice as efficient because it takes twice as long. So I was just done with it. I found the dumbest washing machine I can get. It's working great. Refrigerator, that died too. Refrigerators are all kind of junk right now.
I bought a used upright freezer for the garage. I don't know if I told you how much I paid. You want to guess though?
Would you pay $150?
That's exactly what I paid. $150 for an upright freezer for my garage. And if it craps out on me in a year, I don't care. I paid $150 for it.
Yeah. Yeah, the stuff inside of it's worth more than it is.
A brand new upright freezer. I saw it was. I went to Costco. It was $600.
Yeah.
$600.
Yeah.
For a plastic.
And it's junk.
And it's a piece of shit.
It's plastic and aluminum. It's complete junk.
The reviews are awful on it. So
we have, and I saw a funny meme on Facebook. It's a guy waiting for a refrigerator, so essentially it's you move your 20-year-old refrigerator into the basement to replace it with a refrigerator you're going to have to replace 3 times, right. And the one in the basement's still going. That's me. We got rid of we got all new appliances. Wanted stainless steel, so it all looks stainless. Got rid of our white appliances. The old white Kenmore refrigerator, side by side, is still in the basement, still running. The kids go downstairs and open it up, and because they're kids, they forget to close it. And you go downstairs, and the stuff in the refrigerator is warm but the freezer, that's all frosted over. But guess what? It's still working. 3 days. Because no one had been down there. I'm like, this is cool. It's still going. It's just runs.
That refrigerator on the other side of this door is the same age as that friggin' washing machine.
Yeah.
And it still runs, and I'm never getting rid of it.
Yeah.
I probably should have just threw that up in the garage, but
yeah.
It went up for $150. It wasn't worth my effort to take that upstairs.
Yeah.
So I just bought the other one for $150. So now I got 2.
When you die,
yeah,
and your kids they're going to try to figure out what to do with. Well, by then it'll be an antique.
I'm going to have to put a note inside saying, "Take it with you."
Yeah,
it's the best thing you'll ever have.
But and again, though, these aren't decisions made by the line guy working on this stuff.
No.
First of all these new appliances aren't even made here anymore. They've offshored all that. And they'll say, "Oh, well, that's American junk and that union lazy guy working." Like, nah.
No, that was the bean counter that adjusted the design to make the design fail on purpose, so you have to buy another one. Whereas they could still make that machine. That I'm pointing to my Whirlpool 1980s washing machine.
Yep.
They can still make that machine. Initially, would it cost you more to buy it? Would it cost you more than $400 to buy it? Yes, because you can buy an Amana or a Hot Point right now, brand new, for $400 or $500. That machine would, even if it would probably cost them less to make it, but they could charge you more for it.
Yeah,
if it's not going to break on you. And in all honesty, I'm surprised there isn't a new appliance company that comes out and says, "Here's an all-mechanical washing machine. We're so confident it will guarantee it for 10 years for parts."
Yeah.
So that if any of the parts fail, we'll pay for the labor to replace it and the parts. You want to know what's going to happen? That they're never going to have to pay out.
Yeah.
Because as long as they make sure they do quality control on the parts, they're never going to have the problem.
Yep.
And what they're going to create such a loyalty. It's one of those things like, why do people keep buying Toyotas? Because they're reliable, and there are people that will not cross shop anything when they're old. When they decide to get rid of the old Toyota, or when they hand it down to their kid, like when they hand down their 2005 or 2007 Toyota RAV4, because now their kid is old enough to drive. The kid's going to get the 2007 Toyota RAV4, and mom or dad are now going to get the 2025 or 2026 Toyota RAV4.
Yeah.
If that's or whatever Toyota, they're not even going to shop.
Yeah.
They're not going to Honda. They're not going to Ford. They're not even walking in. They're going to go to the dealership. They're going to go to the Toyota dealership and say, "I would like a RAV4."
Yeah.
They're probably not. What are they going to argue on price for $1,000, $1,500? Probably not.
Yep.
And the reason why is because even if I'm paying $1,000 more than what I probably could pay, I know that RAV4 is going to last me a minimum of 10 years, as long as I do my oil changes.
Yep.
And it's the same thing. If you had a startup company that had American workers in an American factory making machines out of quality products that you know aren't going to bust, you could probably take that washing machine, sell it for $650 with zero gadgets, zero tech, just pay your worker $25 an hour on the line.
Yep.
Pay a quality control guy $25 to $30 an hour on the line. Make sure you're pumping out good shit.
Yeah.
And people will flock to you.
Yeah.
Especially if you have good marketing.
Yep.
Right? You could knock GE out of the appliance business, which they've been trying to probably get out of for years anyway.
Yeah.
Or whatever Chinese company owns the GE brands now for appliances. So you could get American line workers, probably unionized, God forbid.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, don't pay your CEO $30 million a year.
Yeah.
Like that. That's part of the nonsense. It's like you're gonna be mad at the Boeing CEO. Like you're gonna be mad at the Boeing union in Washington for demanding a $3 per hour pay raise and maybe an extra day off of work.
Yeah.
When the CEO makes $30 million and can't get quality control under control because he fired all the quality control guys.
Yeah.
And brought them in with new kids making $17 an hour when it would have cost him less to keep the old quality control guys, the actual engineers on hand, and paid them the $40 an hour.
Yeah.
It would have cost way less. Because now you've got your 737 MAX line. Half of those variants are grounded still, and they don't have verification.
Yeah.
The ones that did get verification were grounded for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Because the door blew off. Because you didn't have quality control. How much money did that cost you in sales alone? People went over to Airbus, to the A320. 320, 321?
320. It's the 320 series.
Or 220 or whatever one of those.
Yeah, 320 would be 737.
Which, oh, by the way, Airbus is making them with union labor in Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they have one plant here in America.
Airbus is the European consortium. It's all different from the old European manufacturers, like going back to like Sud Aviation, which is French, and like Fokker and probably Focke-Wulf and all these old, they all got together and so different parts are made in different places. And, but yeah, I have a friend of mine flies A320s and loves it.
But Boeing works the same way. I mean, most of their a lot of their components, like their fuselages, are made by Spirit Aerosystems. They're not. It's not made by Boeing.
Yeah,
it's made by Spirit Aerosystems. Yeah. Who, by the way, they also are the ones that fucked up the fuselage.
Yeah,
right. But it's like a lot of it was because they didn't want to pay workers. But the CEO makes $30 million a year.
Yeah.
And the stock price went down by half. Like I said, I could fuck up the company like that. Give me half.
Yeah,
I'll fuck up your company just as easy.
Yeah,
I could do it maybe even better. Actually, you want to know? I probably wouldn't run it down that way. You could have paid me that, and I would have only dropped it 25%.
Yeah,
could have saved you money. It made me money.
Yeah. Well, it gets back to the whole thing where the CEO's job is to maximize shareholder profits. The CEO's job is not to build the best airplane or the best washing machine or the best car or the best anything. The CEO's job is to maximize shareholder profits. Another reason why I hate Dodge, aside from the fact that they're crap, is that the Dodge brothers. So Henry Ford wanted to keep the price of their cars low, wanted to take care of the workers, blah 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 blah. The Dodge brothers worked for or were investors or in Ford said, no, we can sell this for that much more. It goes all the way up to Supreme Court. They decide, nope, your job is to maximize shareholder profits, not build the best. So another reason to hate Dodge is right there. So That's what they're looking out for. They don't care if those airplanes fall out of the sky until the point where it starts affecting shareholder profits. That's when they care about it. Because they can probably absorb a certain amount of lawsuits from crashes.
Sure.
So say like with the first problem with the 737 MAX was in the flight control system, they couldn't figure it out. It was a software glitch. So you let a jet fly with a software glitch because the FAA let you self-certify it. So it's like, hey, your airplane has to meet all these rigorous standards. Now, if a startup company wanted to do it, oh no, they're going to be all over them like stink on shit. But Boeing, you guys are good. You just you say you're good.
It's imperative to national security that they fight Airbus for dominance in the sky.
So,
and meanwhile, China's making 737 knockoffs.
Yeah,
that seem to be fly just fine.
Mm-hmm. So, but they assume that okay, we can when everything's just looked at as a number on a spreadsheet, and so you can pay 0.25%, then that's where the problem lies, because now you're not looking at making a good product. And when it is something like an airplanes or even cars where lives and safety is at risk, well, again, the model doesn't work. So, but we'll blame the union guy for screwing it up, the guy that tightened the bolt the wrong way, when really there's supposed to be a quality control apparatus that comes through on the other side to make sure that everything's done to spec. But, oh no, we'll get rid of that part.
By the way, quality control doesn't mean just some overpaid guy looking at the door to make sure the rivets were put in properly. Quality control is mostly engineers. And it's to make sure the design is proper.
Yeah.
And then there is a mechanical quality control engineer, and they do make sure that everything is torqued. They'll go through an airplane, they'll take a torque wrench, and they'll literally torque like 10 bolts to make sure it's been torqued properly.
Yeah.
Among other things, right? But I mean, you pay that and you don't get, because if the plane comes back to you if it's been not properly put together, and for people that think it's just one-off, no. Boeing had to convert an entire facility to be so they could meet production numbers. So it was always production numbers. And there was I think CNBC did like a thing on it on YouTube or Forbes or one of those business channels, and essentially the planes would go from production to that facility, and they would stack them until they could fix them. And these were all planned, like they're fully painted out for the airline. So either they got delivered and sent back, because the airlines do their own quality control, and they would sit there. There's a whole production facility just for returns. It's literally like an Amazon return center. Just a big old warehouse in the middle of a desert.
For airplanes.
And the thing that gets me, the common Joe that blames the union worker is probably and I'm not going to pick on just plumbers, but it's probably a small business owner. Who's like, I'm going to be the big time CEO one day, and I don't want to have to deal with those workers.
Yeah.
I hate my workers.
Right.
Which is why nobody wants to work for you. You probably have high turnover. You hate the fact that, Susie had a family emergency and had to leave, and therefore you were stuck behind the counter doing manual transactions.
Yeah.
For one day.
That you don't know how to do.
Right. But it was for one day.
Yeah.
And it bothered you so much, now you're anti-worker. Meanwhile, 10 years ago, before you started your business, you were a worker.
Yeah.
And you hated your boss, which is probably why you started your own business. Like, you were a plumber, you worked for a big plumbing HVAC company or whatever. You hated the way they treated people. You started the business with the right intentions. Then you grew and you had to hire employees. Well, you hired a lazy employee and he sucked. And now every employee sucks.
Yeah.
And you don't want them to unionize. You don't want them to have it because they're just lazy. Oh, no, these kids don't want to work today. Workers right now, they're so lazy. They want to take all this time off. You want to know why? It's because, and I'm going to say that. So in the past, And Japan kind of still has this mentality, but Japan also treats its workers better. But in Japan, the worker sees the company success and quality as a value of themselves.
Yeah.
Like if the company doesn't do well, they personally feel like they let the company down.
Right.
Now the company, though, in Japan, they hardly ever have layoffs.
Yeah.
Even during bad economic times, the company eats it and keeps people employed.
Yeah.
There's a symbiotic relationship there. And this country is dog eat dog, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Yeah.
And as an example, I mean, Toyota is one of those companies in Japan. Now, they do make cars here, but it's a Japanese company. Mm-hmm. And they're able to pump out probably the best quality cars. You can say what you want about their interior design, the exterior design, whatever.
Well, and the thing is with Toyotas, like, I used to think Toyotas were boring. Mm-hmm. And they still kind of are. They're, you know, like if you looked at all these cars, like when I was super into cars, like, you know, like Ford had SVT, you know, and then GM had their, you know, Corvettes and Camaros, like they had and Toyota kind of, like once they stopped making the Supra, they didn't really have anything that was like, you took the Camry, there was no like.
There's no TRD like there was in the recent past.
Yeah.
Right? There's no TRD version of the Camry.
Yeah.
Now there is.
Yeah.
Right? Now they're kind of jumping on board a little.
Yeah. But now that I'm a grown up, I don't care. I want to get in it. I want it to run. I look at the car as, again, as it's an appliance. It's a machine that performs a function. I need to perform that function. I don't really care how big the infotainment screen is. In fact, I prefer it not even have one. So, but you know, it's that was a complaint with it, but they always worked. It would always run. It's reliable, and that's where I've changed as I've gotten older, and I don't particularly care about the, you know, besides like, you know, the average dude is not out like, oh yeah, there's the, you know, whatever the highest spec Mustang is. The average kid that's reading those magazines is not going to drive that car ever.
It's like the 40-year-old guy who buys the M, like an M5.
Yeah.
And drives 30 miles an hour on a 30-mile-an-hour road.
Yeah.
You overbought for your need.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, though. I am guilty of this. Mm-hmm. Like, my 12-year-old Ford Edge is the Ford Edge Limited. Mm-hmm. It's got the Ford sync system. It's got the Sony sound system in it. And I like that kind of shit. I know you don't, but I do.
Yeah.
But it works. Like, that's the other part. If you're going to put it in there, make it work.
Yeah.
That's all. It's not that complicated. Mm-hmm. We've been making, your screen is essentially a smartphone now.
Yeah.
Well, Apple's been making smartphones for how long? And, I mean, shit. In my experience, like, I'm not an Apple fanboy. We barely have any Apple products in this house. But want to know what phone my wife has? She has an iPhone.
Yeah.
Want to know what? My kid's got an iWatch. Mm-hmm. My wife's got an iWatch. Like, and the reason why is because the Apple products, I know they're made in China. Whatever. But whatever spec Apple is set, they are built to keep working.
Yeah.
And people say, yeah, but it doesn't have the latest and greatest tech. And all. Okay, it doesn't have to be latest and greatest. But when my wife, who's not that technically inclined, she needs the phone to work. She does work stuff on it. She does other things on it. It's like the car. And I know this is sad to say, but she needs her phone to work properly so that she can get other work done. It's a tool. I mean, she had an iPhone 8. And we didn't upgrade her until I think it was an iPhone 12.
Yeah.
Which was 4 or 5 years for a thing. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want my car to be obsolete in 4 or 5 years. And the only reason why we upgraded was because we were able to get the quote-unquote free phone from when we switched carriers. That was the other thing. We switched carriers. We couldn't use the old phone, which is a whole nother fucking piece of shit thing to do. People are like, oh, you could transfer it. There's some underlying technology that makes it work not as great if you switch. Yeah. Especially on the lower bands, like 3G. And yes, your phone still uses some 3G bandwidth. Yeah. It's not all 4G, 5G. By the way, 5G fucking blows. I'm sorry, it does. Like, it is not ready for prime time. Like, I have my phone. I have a 5G phone. Like, I've got a Google Pixel 8 Pro, and I went into some like deep settings of the phone to change it so that it won't go into 5G.
I don't even know what.
There's a code you can put into your phone dialer, and it brings up like a special menu.
Oh,
and you can change it.
I think this is a 2-year-old iPhone, and it's connected to your Wi-Fi, so I have no idea what it's on now.
It probably can go to 5G.
Yeah.
But my thing is, people do want things that just work. Like, I want my washing machine to just work.
Yeah.
I want my phone to just work. I need my car to start up in the morning so you can get to work. And paying a line worker $17 an hour versus $20 to $23 could help ensure the quality of the product, along with paying your designers more money. Mm-hmm. And maybe you pay your CEO rather than paying them $25 to $30 million. Why don't you do? Maybe pay them 15 to 20.
Mm-hmm.
You take that $10 million difference per year, and you give it to the employees.
Yeah. Well, CEO pay in other parts of the world is not what it is here.
Right.
And except for like a couple, like Costco is one that doesn't pay their CEO a ton of money. And people want to work at Costco. People will work at Costco for 20, 30 years.
Yep.
And never.
It's a career.
Yeah. And they'll stay there, and they treat their people well. They treat their customers well. And
that's another thing. At Costco, they pay their employees well. If you stop a Costco employee and ask for, where's this? Do you have this? They will stop what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They will walk you to the section to make sure you find it. They don't, it's aisle 4. No. They will walk you to that aisle.
Yeah.
And say, it's here.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
Mm-hmm.
And no, thank you. That's all. And then they go about doing whatever they were doing. I saw a person from their tire center working at the checkout line inside the store. Like they were still wearing the tire center stuff.
Yeah.
And when the line died down, they went back to the tire center.
Mm-hmm.
And they're more willing to do that if you pay them well. And Costco should be, if anyone ever goes to business school, Costco, and I'm sure there are other companies similar to this that we don't really know about, but go into a Costco and see what it looks like versus a Walmart where there's clothes on the floor. Yeah, you go to a Walmart, nothing is on the right rack.
No, it's all over the place.
You don't know where. If you stop and ask someone where something is, you're lucky if they kind of point you. Oh, it's over there.
Yeah.
Over where?
Yep.
We notoriously have made fun of Home Depot for this bullshit. You can't even get the worker to look up as you're walking toward them because you're trying to make eye contact so that they know that you need some. They'll just walk right past you with their eyes down.
Mm-hmm.
And they're paying them minimum shit.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you pay your employees well and you treat them well, they're going to treat your customers well.
And you need less of them.
Yeah. And you need to go find new ones less often because their turnover's lower. It costs more money to find a new worker than it does to keep the old one. And then
you know why I go to Ace?
Yeah.
Because when I walk in, someone's like, "How can I help you?"
Oh yeah.
And they're knowledgeable.
And those Ace employees, they're great. They are, you walk in and so, a lot of times, they always like, what can I help you find? I know exactly where I'm going. But I'll tell them, they take me there and they say, yeah, this one is good, that one, blah, do this.
Yes.
Awesome people. And the thing is, they're all local. I know you get to know all of them. Like the dude he's a bigger dude, bald head with a mustache.
Yep, I know that guy. Yeah. He helps me every time I go in.
Yeah, he had hurt his knee, but he's still in there working, and he knows the grill section super well. He's willing to smoke and meat. He's always giving me like different, try this rub. It's brand new. It's really good. And so, but you like that. Now I can go get the same rub from Sam's Club for less money, but no, I want to go to Ace because I can see my boy, talk grill stuff. They're helpful. It's a local business. But now Ace is a corporation, but all those hardware stores are independently owned and operated.
They're franchise, yeah.
So, I like that. I think more people like that, but that doesn't do well in the stock market. So,
but that's why I go to Ace first, and I'm going to say it's probably taken about 10 to 15 sales per year away from Home Depot.
Yeah.
even if it costs me more.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's going to cost me more money at Ace.
I don't care though. Because you know what? If I got to go do a plumbing project, I can go in there. Bald head bro he's gonna ask me where I need to go. I'm gonna say, hey, look, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need this and this and this. Mm-hmm. What else you got? Anything? Well, actually, let's get this one instead. Do this and this and this.
Yeah,
and
there was a guy in the plumbing department there that, because the houses up here in the estates, yes. You guys don't have the same issue, but down in the nether regions of the old part of the neighborhood, the plumbing is terrible.
Yeah,
they it's just awful. So unless you pay plumbers, you get really good at plumbing. Well, I went to that Ace, and the dude, he was a real old guy. I haven't seen him in a while. I think he stopped working, but that guy was a plumber and installed, knew how all that stuff was. So he goes, where do you live? And I tell him, he goes, oh, the place is terrible. This is what they used. This is the union that'll work to get to the old, because you're not going to be able to use the same type of pipes because they don't make it anymore. All this stuff, that type of knowledge you're not going to find that at some corporate box store.
And you might, do you have to pay that guy an extra $2-3 an hour? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you want to know what? The reason why I'm in there 10 to 15 times versus going to Home Depot is because he's there.
Yeah.
He's earned, trust me, in my purchases alone, well, probably not maybe my purchases alone. I mean, that it's probably what, $1,500,
yeah,
$2,000 worth of purchases.
Yeah.
It's probably paid for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only one person that goes there because of him or the other helpful people, you know?
And those people don't have to be, they don't need a union there.
No.
Right? The union is designed to protect the worker against the company. But when the company and the worker's goals are aligned, you don't need it. Right? If you went in there as a union organizer, or they'd probably be like, we don't need you, get out of here. And that's how they began in the first place. In the coal mines of West Virginia, when the workers had to live in the company house and they had to buy all their equipment in the company store, and they were paid in
company money.
Yeah, company script.
Yeah,
that wasn't worth. Essentially, they were property of the company. Mm-hmm. They didn't care if you died. There was no limitations on work. Your kids went to the company school and you went to the company church. But that's what people are arguing for that side, because that's where they go if you let them go there. You can't tell me the $30 million a year CEO wouldn't let it go to that point because they're so far detached. They never had to. You think those CEOs have ever had to work the line at Ford? Have they ever changed their own tire once, even?
Well, and they're these people, these other workers that are telling workers to get in line are also, they're just, like I said, they've got the visions of, I'm going to be that CEO.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make my $20 million. No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not. It's 0.1% of the population that becomes CEOs.
Yeah.
It's not going to be you, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think, and the thing with Trump's not going to be like, their whole thing is, well, Trump's going to create more jobs because he's going to create more demand for American work. You know what? And that could be right. And they're going to say that's why he's pro-worker. Mm-hmm. And that could be part of it. I'm not saying that's not going to help. But the other part is these corporations are shit.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was trying to argue with me that because I was talking with tariffs. We're talking about tariffs. So for people that haven't followed, obviously Trump has put tariffs on certain countries, and they've raised a lot of money doing it, talking in the hundreds of millions of dollars already. And we heard back in February or March, the consumer's going to pay it. It's going to be a tax on the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, as of July 2025 versus July 2024, July 2024, inflation was at 2.7%.
Yeah.
Total inflation includes everything, food. No. July 2025, inflation is at 2.6%.
Yeah.
It didn't increase inflation. it was like, well, it did lower prices. Well, it did lower some prices. It lowered food prices. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. According to the data, it did. Mm-hmm. It lowered new car purchase prices. No, trust it. Yes, it did. The price people actually paid for cars went down. The MSRPs might not be down. But you've got Mazda with a $10,000 lease incentive on a Mazda CX-9 or 90.
Yeah.
The purchase price out the door is less than it was last year. Mm-hmm. Eggs prices are down. Well, that wasn't inflation. That was based on the avian flu. You're right. And you want to know who started importing eggs? Trump did. Mm-hmm. And he also got tariff money on it.
Yeah.
And the price of eggs still went fucking down. Well, no, he exempted them from tariffs. Okay, fine. He still brought the price of eggs down.
Yeah.
Like, food is down year over year. We've actually had a recession for food. It's down 0.1%. But essentially, if it doesn't go up with inflation, the price is actually going down relative to the value of the dollar.
Sure. Yeah.
And I know that got economically wonky for some people, but he's collecting tariff money and prices haven't gone up, which is also why he's screaming at Jay Powell to reduce the interest rate because he wants purchasing to go up. But here's the thing, I will give Jay Powell credit for this. By not reducing the interest rate, he's kept inflation from going up.
Yeah.
Because once you lower that inflation, it disincentivizes companies and people from saving. So if they start buying stuff, it's going to raise the price of everything. More people are going to start buying shit. Cars are going to go. You need this to stay level while the tariffs are coming in. Now, if Trump and his people don't do the right thing with that tariff money, then fuck him too.
Yeah.
If all you're going to do is give it back to your buddies and the corporations and shit, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to, and I don't want to check. I don't want to. I know some people do. Look, if I got to check, I wouldn't be mad.
Right.
But use it to pay down the national debt. Because what happens right now, for every $4 we spend, $1 of it goes to the interest on the national debt. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. Look, I'm not saying we should never have debt.
Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, the reason why the U.S. dollar is the world's currency is because we issue debt.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people hold dollars of debt, which is why we're the world's currency.
Yeah.
If you want to maintain that dominance, you have to issue debt.
Yeah.
We need to issue less of it, though. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying zero. I'm not saying almost zero. I'm saying you want to keep it in line with about 2% of GDP. I know that's little in the weeds for some people, but we need that. But you can't have it where every $1 out of 4 is going to interest.
Yeah.
Because we can't use some of that money for other things, right? We're like, I'll use that mafia thing, the mafia equation. The mafia thrived for a long time in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and even in the 60s because the mafia dons took care of the people in the neighborhood. And the people in the neighborhood shut the fuck up because they were getting, indirectly, they were getting a piece of it. Yeah. Like when Joe lost his job at the card factory, he got a job down at the docks the next day because the mafia don or the mafia boss in the neighborhood knew about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I heard this happen. I want you to go down to the docks tomorrow. They're going to have a job for you. Mm-hmm. That little thing makes it so Joe shuts the fuck up.
Yeah.
And you can be corrupt. You just can't be as corrupt as you are right now.
Right.
You got to be a little less corrupt.
Yeah.
And the other thing with these companies is, and this is why maximizing shareholder wealth sucks, because there isn't an infinite upward curve.
Yeah.
At some point, you can only make so much money selling washing machines.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an infinite curve up. Mm-hmm. I can't keep increasing shareholder wealth when everyone's bought a washing machine. What, you want to know how I do that? I make them obsolete, so they got to buy more washing machines.
Yeah.
Okay, but now you're just fucking people over for shareholders. Mm-hmm. There has to be a line.
Yeah.
Where you maximize shareholder wealth while not fucking over the customer.
Yep. And I think one of the things that helped, and this could take us because we're already an hour 20, but
right.
Back when they made shit that worked, like, you knew that, okay, this family's going to buy one washing machine. It's going to last 30 years, right? But then that couple, that family, they're going to have 5 kids. So those 5 kids are going to go out and need to buy washing machines. Hey, Dad, what kind of washing machine do we have? Oh, we got a Maytag. They just bought 5 more Maytags or whatever, brand it is.
Yep.
And they go, hey, we still have ours. It lasted 30 years. Okay, I want to buy. Well, now people aren't having kids anymore.
Right.
Or they're waiting longer and longer. They're not buying houses. Like I think the average age home buyer even 20 years ago was in their late 20s, early 30s. Now the average first-time home buyer age is getting to be like 47 years, like in their 40 years old.
Yep.
So they're not buying houses; they're renting. Well, there's no need. So, crap. These people aren't having kids. There's no 5 more repeat customers because it stayed in the family. There might be 1. So how do we? We'll make the washing machine last 10 years, and then it breaks, and they have to buy a new one. So
10 years is generous for this.
10 years. Yeah, mine lasted 10 years. I just remember because when my middle son was born is when the first one broke. So, it's if people aren't having families, and I'm not saying you have to go out and be, have 18 kids, but like I have 3, you have 2, but there are people who are like, I can't afford to have kids. They're like, I'm afraid because I'm not sure, we're not, those kids aren't building, they're not doing all this stuff. So eventually, if you're not having more families to go into, they're not going to buy as much. So let's make junk so they have to buy it. We're still going to get the money from them. It's just from the same person rather than all these other people.
Yeah. So let us know what you think. Are the unions going away? Is it their own doing for being greedy and corrupt? That was a whole other thing we didn't even talk about.
Yeah.
We're not going to start it now. Top union brass didn't help themselves out in any of this shit. But hey, should unions still be out there? Are corporations just getting greedy? I know it's like I'm leading the witness as to what I want them to say, but tell us your honest opinions on it. Let us know if you think we're the assholes. I want to thank you for listening. Check out Adam Chubbuck, TACMD.com, TACMD.com if you need real estate help. And we will talk to you next week.